here as, well, in a bit of shock actually, because 30 years ago when I left school, I never thought for 1 minute that I would ever be classed as an entrepreneur. I never thought I would start my own business. I was going to work in a bank, and I had my career pretty much mapped out. What happened 10 years ago was that I moved back to Hull after living in London for 10 years, and I started working for a couple of guys that I absolutely hated. They were misogynistic, they were aggressive, they underpaid me, and I sat there one day and thought, my life has got to be better than this. It really, really does. It has to be better than this. So I decided, literally on the back of a fag packet, to start my own business. So that's what I did, and I'm celebrating 10 years in September. And I think I'm like a lot of entrepreneurs in that we go from the relative security of having a monthly paycheck, perhaps a pension in the future, maybe loans at a really, really good rate. But you go from a lot of security in your life where there's some really good boundaries and things, and suddenly you're in a free fall situation where you are self-employed. Now, there are an awful lot of self-employed people that are very much like me. They don't have multi-million turnover companies. They often work around caring for children and working flexibly. And that's definitely me. I'm a self-employed mum of 2 children, a 15-year-old who plays a lot of cricket and a lot of rugby, and a very creative dyslexic daughter who's 12. So I spend a lot of time tidying up and being her timekeeper because dyslexic children are not very good with times. Now, when I was asked to do this, I thought to myself, I could think of all of the superpowers. And what I found was actually there's hugely male-dominated. Now, I believe in equality. I really, really do. I think everybody should be treated the same. So when I started to look at all the superpowers, and then these names were dripping through from my colleagues from FEO saying about being Spider-Man and, you know, Superman and all of these very macho, very aggressive, kind of deep, you know, sort of powerful tendencies, I thought to myself, who can I be? So I started to look. My children had actually bought me a key fob that was Wonder Woman because they reckon that that's what I am, which is great. I'm really proud of that. And I started to look at Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman was started in 1942 by a guy called William Moulton Marston. Now, he was a big superhero creator of the time. And he was seeing that in the 1940s, on the axis of war and everything else, that actually it was this male-dominated, aggressive kind of approach that seemed to be seeping through the superhero tendency. So he decided he needed to bring an antidote to all of this. And it was his wife. He was actually in a polygamous relationship with a lady called Olive, but his wife is called Elizabeth. And his wife said to him, fine, bring somebody in that's not aggressive, but please make her a woman, okay? So that's where Wonder Woman was born in 1942. And essentially, Wonder Woman is all about love, okay? And it's not just the love that you have for a kitten or a dog or your house or your child or your husband or wife. It's all about love. And I think that over the last 10 years, that's the biggest lesson that I have learned, is that to love absolutely every single thing about my entrepreneurial journey. I love the unpredictability because that unpredictability gives me flexibility to be able to be a good mum. I'm not so hot about the unpredictability of the fiscal insecurity sometimes when my mortgage is due or my VAT payment's due. But actually, what I do from these situations is that I look back and I learn from a position of loving what I do. I love my difficult customers, I love my difficult employees, and I just love everything that I do every single day. And I hope that that comes through with my customers, my peer group, the people who I network with, and my prospective customers. And coming back to what Jonathan said, I didn't realise he was 500 BC, but Confucius also said that if you find a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So vote Wonder Woman and put a vote for love. Thank you.